Hello there internet, MegaMogwai here, and I got another video for you guys today, and today I'm going to play some actual properly optimized Mardu Feather. I took this bad boy in yesterday's stream, and we tore it up in the ladder as we climbed from Platinum 4 to Platinum Tier 2. And basically, this is the deck list that I showcased a couple of days back, but it has been heavily tweaked to fix some of the big issues that it had. Just so you guys have a bit of reference in case you haven't seen that video, this is the original Twilight Feather. I saw this in the Spike subreddit as they released the Magic the Gathering Online 5.0 list for like the past week, and I saw this Mardu Feather list, which was very intriguing because it used Sorin, and I love the idea of playing Sorin in a deck with Feather the Redeemed and 10th District Legionnaire, right? I think Sorin is incredibly good because this deck relies heavily on these creatures, especially Feather. The ability to resurrect Feather immediately and preserve my Planeswalker, on top of the fact that I have lifelink upon attack, which is very strong as mono red, which is super fascinating, and I really thought that whoever came up with this was really onto something. But I did not like a lot of things about this deck at the same time. I hated the mana base. The fact that this player, the man who built this deck, did not have any sort of basic lands, and the mana base just felt really bad. Angrat's Rampage, like a 2-mana black mana play, felt really unnecessary and made things really complicated and really draw dependent to be able to cast your stuff consistently. And then I'm also not a big fan of the Adanto Vanguard and the Legion Warboss. I thought these were quite out of place and just suboptimal, honestly. So I took that and the sideboard, and I'm like, I like this idea, but we are going to make the deck much better. And this is the 2.0 version, I guess. Like I said, this is my own version of the deck, and I can guarantee you this deck, I don't want to sound like a pretentious douche here, but this deck is much stronger, much more efficient, much more consistent, and just way better than that one. So why is it better? Because we have a way more solid mana base here going on. We are not really relying too much on black, except for casting Sorin. And we also have Bedeck Bedazzle as well, which I'm going to explain in a bit. As you can see, my mana base looks much cleaner with 3 plains and 2 mountains, a total of 10 sources of black mana, which is more than enough to enable yourself to cast Sorin at turn 4. And we're not vulnerable to land destruction decks. We're not vulnerable to just getting mana screwed as much as the other one. And overall, our mana base is much cleaner. On top of that, we have several changes that are very key here. We are running 3 copies of Sorin instead of 4. Even though Sorin is fantastic with this build, I reached the conclusion that 3 is enough. And on top of that, we're running Chandra Fire Artisan because there are some games in which we don't draw Feather, or Feather gets answered early on, and we can run out of steam. Well, Chandra enables us to refuel a little bit in those scenarios and performs quite a bit of a good support role in that sense to make sure that we don't run out of gas. On top of that, we took out the Adanto Vanguards. I did not like them, and we added in 3 copies of Burning Prophet instead. Fantastic 2-drop for this sort of deck. The Scry effect goes a long way because Burning Prophet plus 10th District Legionnaire with the Scry effect enables you to just get rid of all those excess lands and draw into the key cards that you need, and it really is game winning. Like this, she helps the deck's consistency tremendously. On top of that, we have 2 copies of Krenko instead of Legion Warboss because we added in 3 copies of Samut's Sprint. Samut's Sprint gives target creature +2/+1 and haste until the end of the turn. So not only can we use this with Feather and 10th District Legionnaire, to get our, endless value going on and push for damage, we can also use this to give Feather haste potentially, but most importantly give Krenko haste and +2 attack, which means that if we play Krenko at 4 mana and we Samut Sprint him, then we have a 4/4 attacking Krenko, which means we'll get 4 goblins in that same turn, which is absolutely, it just puts Legion of Warboss to shame basically. And I really like it, but we're only running 2 copies of him because Krenko is a bit of a liability against red focused decks, right? Because, very susceptible to shock, lightning strike, and can be shut down really easily in those matchups, right? So we don't want to go too crazy on him. 2 is enough because the matchups in which he's relevant, all you need is to draw 1 copy of him, and you can enable him onwards. And we're running 2 Bedecks because it is a good source of removal. We're kind of like replacing Angrat's Rampage because we don't want to run... Like, I've had a lot of people ask me, why aren't you running Dreadhorde Butcher? The same reason why I'm not playing Angrat's Rampage, and the same reason why I'm not playing any sort of black-based spell until turn 4, because of the mana base, which was the biggest issue with the prior deck, right? So the deck here is very easy to cast because when it comes to my lands, only 3 out of my, I believe I'm running 24 lands, I'm not sure. Only 3 out of my total lands are not able to cast Bedeck, right? It's very flexible, very solid removal that can also be used proactively as an aggression tool in conjunction with Feather, because Feather survives the -3. Therefore, I can give Feather a +3 attack boost, and, you know, because we're targeting our own creature with it, Feather can return Bedeck to my hand at the end of the turn. So therefore, against matchups where I'm not expecting my opponent to have something like a Shock or a Moment of Craving, I can go full-on aggressive mode, and I also have a pretty flexible card that could potentially be used to destroy a land and pick off a Planeswalker against, like, for example, a 4-color Dreadhorde deck, amongst others, right? So I like Bedeck Bedazzle. Originally we had Lightning Strike, but we substituted it for that. And that is the main deck right there. When it comes to the sideboard, we got 3 Healing Graces, 2 Duress, 4 Tocatli Honor Guard, 2 Lava Coils, 2 D-Spark, and 2 Deafening Clarion. I think this is very optimal as a sideboard. We have the Healing Grace alongside the Lava Coils and the D-Spark and the Clarion to enhance our matchup against the likes of Mono Red. Healing Grace is mainly there for Mono Red aggro. We know how prevalent that archetype is, and this card is outstanding against them, especially in conjunction with Feather. Duress helps in many different matchups, including Mono Red, but also Control. 4 Tocatli Honor Guard is there to counter the 4-color Dreadhorde Planeswalker decks, and Sultai midrange. Any deck that revolves around or uses the Explore package, Tocatli Honor Guard completely shuts down. And in conjunction with Sorin, we can resurrect her potentially. And the reason why I'm running 4 is because she just single-handedly beats that deck. So making sure that I can draw her in that matchup is crucial. Therefore, I have 4 copies of her in the sideboard because of that, right? Very, very strong, and it's just there precisely for that reason. Comes in and substitutes Burning Prophet instead matchup. D-Spark is very flexible, can enable me to deal with the Experimental Frenzies and the Chandras and potentially Rekindling Phoenix that Mono Red decks bring in games 2 and 3. Will also enable me to have an answer for Wilderness Reclamation, and also a good card versus Planeswalker decks, as we can, you know, get rid of the big boy Planeswalkers with it for just 2 mana. On top of that, you know, Lava Coil for removal, Deafening Clarion for a board sweep that can be good against aggressive decks, and also mono white weenies, for example. And that is the sideboard right there. Very happy with this deck list. I think this optimization has made it really strong, and it legit feels like a tier 1 deck, which is really cool because it's Feather, and it turns out Feather is really good, but Feather needed a little bit of extra support, and I really do think the Sorin you guys are going to see Sorin just put in the massive work in the 2 best of 3 series that I got for you guys today, which were the last ones that I had in the stream, and holy shit, like Sorin is just... Absolutely. I just flicked my own eye, and I don't care because I love Sorin that much. And I guess I'm going to end the deck tech at that. Really strong, very fun, complicated deck to pilot at certain points, but most definitely rewarding and just a joy to play. So hopefully you enjoy the gameplay and you enjoy yourself some good old Mardu Feather action. And that's all I gotta say. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video as we're gonna bring in some dinos that also wreck the ladder a bit. And yeah, I'm excited for these couple of videos. I'm really happy that I'm back to homebrewing and like tweaking certain deck lists or building my own. It's how I enjoy this game the most, and I think it's the best sort of content that I can provide because I think I'm getting better at deck building, and hopefully, you know, this deck shows off today. So yeah, have a solid day. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the games. I'll see you tomorrow. Aurelia seems pretty good with Dreadhorde. With Dreadhorde Arc? Aurelia would be a good tech as a blocker and boosting Krenko. Aurelia is fine, but I that's not really what I need. Like, what I need is for a way to fish. Like, I also need to play this a little bit better. I need to focus a little bit because I know I haven't been playing as well as I should have. Okay, let's lead off with the Foundry. Because I need to hold on to my combo pieces more. I played that third game like very recklessly. So us going second here is definitely a bit of a nuisance. I gotta play Feather, but I gotta hope my opponent doesn't have any removal for her. And that's easier said than done. Like, he could have Lava Coils easily. Even if my opponent doesn't find removal for Feather. Like, if I get to untap with Feather, that's pretty much... That's really strong for me to potentially get a comeback going on here. But unfortunately, I also need more sources of red mana. Step one. Okay, we got the tools here. We got the Sheltering Light, we got the Defiant Strike, so we need to do things right, though. Let's see what else he has. Skargan, alright. Because by doing this, okay, so if I play Reckless Rage plus this, I deal 1, I deal 5, so I'm up to 6, right? So that means that even if he does draw another Haster, he can't kill me. So I need this mountain, I need to play this.
My heart is hollow with scorn for you. The weak feed the strong.
And I need to hit him with that. Yeah, this is what I gotta do. Yeah, this is the best line of play. Because if I do it like this, Skargan Hellkite can't kill me. I'm out of range from like a lightning strike to finish me off.
Protect that which cannot protect itself.
It's far from over. But as long as we have Sorin, we can get our health back. Does he have a lightning strike? Did he top deck that plus a lightning strike? Wow. Wow. He literally top decked one of those two. That's crazy, dude. I was playing around lightning strike, but if I would have not done this, if I would have not made the Sorin play, I would have actually been able to easily win that. I guess I should have taken that into account. No, not even Sorin, like another Gruul Spellbreaker. I was also playing around Gruul Spellbreaker because I can't target it with that. Though I could just keep Feather as a blocker. So I guess I should have just not played around Lightning Strike. Main deck Collision Colossus though, that's just definitely did not see that coming. I think I played that well, but maybe I should have played around. I don't know. I thought Lightning Strike was more likely, but that really sucks. I do want the lava coils, Bedeck over Bedeck Bedazzle. I think it's as simple as that. Not gonna. I mean, Deafening Clarion also puts in the work potentially. But he's all about making those 4/4 gruel, so I'm gonna keep it like this. Maybe I should add the Deafening Clarion. I'm not sure. That's silly. He top decked that shit too. That's honestly like that's very upsetting. My opponent he just basically like lucked out of that one. I mean that's card games, right? But if I would have done things differently. Oh, I can't dwell too much on it. I don't think I misplayed. I think a good gruel list does not main deck Collision Colossus and runs Lightning Strike because it's less matchup dependent, but not everybody's gonna run like a properly built list, right? And I mean that's my opinion. So not everybody agrees. Not gonna play into shock. The more I think about it, the more Deafening Clarion makes sense over Krenko, especially now that I'm on the draw. I think Mortify also makes sense over like one Chandra, just to have like extra resources for removal. Maybe that's so we're doing it a little bit. But I'm gonna go with this. I'll keep. It's a bit of a slow hand. I guess my opponent is experiencing a little bit of karma for like his Yu-Gi-Oh bullshit. Let's game. Though to be fair, our hand is so slow that I'm definitely gonna wait for. I'm not gonna play Feathered or Redeemed on turn 3. I'm gonna wait one extra turn. Right. But that's the beauty of Sorin, ladies and gentlemen. That is the beauty of Sorin.
The ringing of my sword is your death knell. darkness within.
Let's make a sweet comeback, boys. All right.
What a mess I've made.
Power surges through these lands. The land fights for us.
God, I love Sorin in this deck. I love Sorin in this deck so goddamn much.
Mad servitude.
Got him! Got him! Oh, baby, there we go. Bedeck? How you enjoying Bedeck Bedazzle over Lightning Strike? For the most part, it's been good. It's really easy to cast. And the fact that I can potentially use it on my Feather, even though I haven't had the chance yet, I think it's better. But not by that much, but I think it's slightly better than Lightning Strike. So for now, I'm keeping it. Maybe my feeling towards that changes a little bit. I have double Feather, a low curve, but I'm gonna keep this. This hand is actually greedy because I have 2 extra copies of. I mean, the reality is you never have too many feathers in this deck because if you untap with Feather, you generally win most of the games, or any game really. So here, for example, I can play Feather on turn 3. It'll probably get answered. Then I can play another Feather and protect it. I do need another like white source of mana to enable that to happen though. Like I'm never like discontent with like drawing multiple feathers, honestly. We drop feather number 1, which requires either a main deck lava coil, which no mono red deck runs, or 2 sources of damage to deal with. Therefore, that'll take a little bit of juice out of him, and then we can drop the next feather, which will be protected by Sheltering Light. I'm not gonna give him a feather though. Can be certain that's not gonna happen. Okay, we don't need another feather. I could attack. Not going to attack. I'm just gonna use these to scry for free. My opponent has to attack, so... Right, double Steamkin is certainly threatening. I need to start drawing into my removal. This is very dangerous, especially if they have a Frenzy. Oh, okay. We're kind of stuck. He doesn't have a second Sheltering Light. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. That's what I was worried about. I need to search for Reckless Rage, otherwise I'm not getting anywhere here. There we go. I mean, I'm already dead anyways. He's dealt too much damage. Because if I can't answer 2 Runaway Steamkins, that's one of the problems of running D-Spark over Mortify, though. Like, now I wanna be able to have an answer for that, but unfortunately, this is very risky. I'm gonna run it as a one-off. Right, we don't need Krenko. About Chandra, I think 2 Sorens is enough, maybe. Chandra's just not good versus aggro, right? Let's go with this. We just need to be able to always answer the Runaway Steamkins. I'm gonna keep this because we got removal. We're running low on mana, but eventually we'll draw into it. I mean, we're not in a huge rush to draw our mana, but hopefully eventually we do draw it. And we don't get mana skewed this one, because that would really suck. Okay, come on, give me a mana, give me a land, give me a land. There we go. Alright, we wiped those. We got the land for Feather. We can just play Feather without being too worried about it.
It's my turn. This is just gonna be bad for you. No problem fire can't solve.
Alright, we're fine with this.
What's that smell? Oh, it's you
Yeah, I need to deal with Chandra. I'm gonna take quite a bit of damage, but I need to deal with her.
This was a waste of my time.
And now we just gotta end the game quickly. There we go. There we go, baby. There we fucking go.
Through feud or feast, your blood is mine. I abhor my need for blood.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, he's not giving up. Let's get that free card draw.
Vampirism is a useful trait.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Alright, so he's playing Chandra and Experimental Frenzy, which means I do want 2D Sparks, and I do think I want a third Soren, even though now that I'm going second, it can be more of a liability, but I think 10th District Legionnaire can go down to 2. It's more vulnerable, this matchup. The rest also seems fine. Sheltering Light, I don't know. I mean, I do like Sheltering Light as a one-off, right? I'll take out one Duress. I'll keep one Duress, but Duress is like not a card that I need like multiple copies of. Well, in fact, Sheltering Light can go a long way, because I just need to keep Feather on the board. D-Spark not only targets the Experimental Frenzy and the Chandra, but if he's playing Rekindling Phoenix from the sideboard, that works as well. I'm going to keep this hand because it's got just the right mana base, got removal, and District Legionnaire. Obviously, we're going second, so we are... We're definitely vulnerable in that sense. I don't want to play 10th District Legionnaire. On her own. She's just gonna take a hit. We're drawing a few too many lands though. Okay, there's double. This makes it so if I Reckless Rage here, I'm gonna keep this as a blocker.
For you.
Yes. Okay, that's good. That Soren right there is really good.
What's that smell? Oh, it's you burning.
This is actually really good. Things that can really hurt. Lava Coil. Oh boy.
Revenge for House Markov. Time for a drink.
Not gonna use my Defiant Strike right now, nor my Reckless Rage. Because I want to react with Defiant Strike to a potential Lightning Strike. Both of my units require Lava Coil to be removed. Okay, there's a Lava Coil.
insolence.
He's gonna go double lightning strike. He's gonna go double lightning strike.
It will come one day.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Brad, do you think? Oh! Do you think I care about your Chandra is just gonna die? Beautiful. So beautiful. So beautiful! Boys crack! Let's go with you. I barely, wait, yeah, I barely miss out on lethal. So I'm gonna do this.
Well, that was a disaster.
Okay, me for 7. I can drop this. And it's your go, my friend. GG, man. Oh, roleplay. There we go.